Instead of fighting the Russians one-on-one, Ukrainians are creating yet another fire pocket around Yunakivka, a crucial Russian-controlled town in Sumy Oblast. Launching the second stage of the offensive, Ukrainian special forces are advancing the line in the forest, while Russian soldiers are killed by their own for attempting to surrender. Ukrainian forces are using their proven formula with a simple yet effective goal: take the Russian ground lines of communication under fire control, isolate and starve the Russians in Yunakivka, and then turn the trap into a kill zone without any chances of evacuation or rotation. Euromaidan Press media outlet says Russian commanders, bound by the obsession with holding territory at all costs, refuse to withdraw even from doomed positions which the Ukrainians are counting on and more than ready to exploit. Yunakivka's open layout, with scattered and burned-out buildings, offers no cover and no reason for the Ukrainians to engage in a storming operation, which would only cost losses in an attritional battle that can hardly be won against an opponent with more troops on the ground. With the Russians switching to defensive operations in Yunakivka after their attempted push forward was annihilated by Ukrainian drones and artillery, the tempo of the battle has slowed down significantly, so the Ukrainian command started preparing their next move. The trap takes shape along the Sudzha Yunakivka road and the forested settlement running into the town, where Ukrainian drone and artillery fire control needs to be established to Russian supply lines. First, the Ukrainians began pounding Russian positions with relentless drone strikes, softening defenses and exposing supply lines in preparation. The next step is to secure the forests south of the road, vital for staging points and ambush sites. Control of these woods grants Ukrainian forces cover for mortars, reconnaissance, and drone operations and blocks the direct access from Sudzha to Yunakivka. This move would also deny Russians the ability to use the forest as an alternative supply route or start outflanking maneuvers through it. Once the forest is secured, Ukrainian attention will shift to Yablunivka, whose capture would close the pocket from the left flank and ensure that Yunakivka is surrounded from three sides, Euromaidan Press says. Every path leading in or out of the village would then pass directly through Ukrainian fire control, a textbook kill zone designed not to win fast, but to destroy methodically. Ukrainian Special Operations Forces began clearing the forest in lightning raids, with recent video showing elite units advancing on quad bikes, weaving between shattered trees and trenches after artillery has shredded the Russian front line. As some Russians chose to flee their positions, Ukrainian operators moved in, clearing remaining positions and eliminating the remaining defenders. Among the dead, Ukrainians found a phone filled with messages and videos of Russian troops complaining of hunger, no rotation, and commanders ignoring their pleas. After securing the area and pushing the Russians out, the Ukrainians reinforced it with infantry under constant friendly fire support, turning this position in the forest into another forward base for continued movement deeper toward the Yunakivka highway. Euromaidan Press reports. As a result, Russian morale is collapsing fast, and those still in Yunakivka speak of constant drone attacks, dwindling supplies, and commanders ordering suicidal counterattacks in surrounding areas. One Russian soldier reportedly wrote before his position was hit that they lacked food, shells, and had lost all hope. Others have tried surrendering, but even that proves deadly. In one shocking video, 2 Russian soldiers attempted to surrender, walking toward Ukrainian lines with raised hands, only for their own drones to bomb them with dropped munitions before they could reach safety.
U.S. President Donald Trump suggested that Israel's president should pardon Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who is currently on trial on charges of corruption. Hey, "I have an idea, Mr. President. Why don't you give him a pardon?" asked Trump, to applause and a standing ovation from some members of the Israeli parliament as he addressed lawmakers during a visit on Monday. According to Associated Press, Netanyahu became the only sitting prime minister in Israeli history to be indicted when he was charged with fraud, breach of trust and accepting bribes in 3 separate cases after years-long investigations accusing him of exchanging favors with wealthy political supporters. But Trump declared, "Whether we like it or not, this has been one of the greatest wartime presidents, and cigars and champagne, who the hell cares about that?" Also in his address, Trump called on Iran, with whom Israel fought in a 12-day-long war in June, to recognize Israel's right to exist. The story of fierce Israeli resolve and triumph since October 7 should be proof to the entire world that those who seek to destroy this nation are doomed to bitter failure, Trump said. "The state of Israel is strong, and it will live and thrive forever," he added. Trump addressed the Knesset to celebrate the US-brokered ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas before continuing on to Egypt for a key summit that he hopes will solidify an end to the war and pave the way for a more durable peace in the Middle East. 20 hostages were released Monday as part of an agreement intended to end the conflict that began with the October 7, 2023, attack by Hamas-led militants. By early afternoon, Israel also began to release Palestinian prisoners. The moment remains fragile, with Israel and Hamas still in the early stages of implementing the first phase of Trump's plan.
There's nothing that would do more good for this part of the world than for Iran's leaders to renounce terror, stop threatening their neighbors, quit funding their militant proxies, and finally recognize Israel's right to existence. They have to do that. They have to do that. And to Iran, and as you know, this is not said out of weakness. There's no weakness. But I'm going to say this, that we are ready when you are, and it will be the best decision that Iran has ever made. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And they're good people. I know a lot of Iranians in the United States. They're good people, smart, hardworking people. They don't want to see what's happened to their country. The story of fierce Israeli resolve and triumph since October 7th should be proof to the entire world that those who seek to destroy this nation are doomed to bitter failure. The state of Israel is strong, and it will live and thrive forever. And that is why Israel will always remain a vital ally of the United States of America. Israelis share our values, field one of the world's most powerful militaries. You really do. You have an amazing, what a job you've done. And have one of the most innovative economies on earth. Those are just a few of the reasons why I'm proud to be the best friend that Israel has ever had.